Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India Live, India's voice to the world. I'm Prasar Bharati. Coming up in the next 30 minutes. PM Modi announces key initiatives for Fiji in medical and defense sector. India to build super speciality hospital in Fiji. Supply medicines under Jan Aushadhi scheme. PM Modi on a two-day visit to Gujarat will unveil 5,400 crore rupees development projects in state and flag off Suzuki's first global battery electric vehicle e-Vitara for export to over 100 countries. South Korea's President Lee Jae-myung set to meet Trump. Trade, tariff and defense cooperation high on agenda. Ukrainian President Zelensky seeks to secure at least $1 billion monthly from allies to purchase US weapons. Prime Minister Narendra Modi today met his Fijian counterpart Sitiveni Rabuka at Hyderabad House in New Delhi. The two leaders held wide-ranging and productive talks at Hyderabad House. Discussions covered strengthening India-Fiji ties in defense, trade, healthcare, agriculture, mobility, people-to-people ties and advancing a shared vision for a resilient and prosperous Indo-Pacific. Later, the two leaders addressed a joint press meet where PM Modi said that with this visit of PM Rabuka, two countries are adding a new chapter in the relations. He added that the two countries have decided to strengthen mutual cooperation in the defense and security sector, for which an action plan has been prepared.
हम मानते हैं कि एक स्वस्थ राष्ट्र ही समृद्ध राष्ट्र हो सकता है। इसलिए हमने तय किया कि सुवा में 100 बेड सुपर स्पेशलिटी अस्पताल बनाया जाएगा। डायलिसिस यूनिट्स और सी एम्बुलेंस भेजी जाएगी और जन औषधि केंद्र खोले जाएंगे, जिससे सस्ती और उत्तम क्वालिटी की दवा हर घर तक पहुंचेगी। हम चाहते हैं कि सपनों की दौड़ में किसी के कदम रुके नहीं, इसलिए फिजी में जयपुर फूड कैंप भी लगाया जाएगा। कृषि के क्षेत्र में भारत से गए काउपी यानी लोबिया सीड्स फिजी की मिट्टी में बहुत ही अच्छी तरह अंकुरित हो रहे हैं। भारत अब 12 एग्री ड्रोन और 2 मोबाइल सॉइल टेस्टिंग लैब भी भेंट करेगा।
Asserting that a healthy nation can only be a prosperous nation, PM Modi said that the two sides have taken many important decisions in this regard, including ensuring affordable and high-quality medicines in all Fijian households.
हमने रक्षा और सुरक्षा क्षेत्र में आपसी सहयोग को मजबूत करने का निर्णय लिया है। इसके लिए एक एक्शन प्लान तैयार किया गया है। फिजी की मैरीटाइम सिक्योरिटी को सशक्त करने के लिए भारत से ट्रेनिंग और इक्विपमेंट में सहयोग दिया जाएगा। साइबर सिक्योरिटी और डेटा प्रोटेक्शन के क्षेत्रों में हम अपने अनुभव साझा करने के लिए तैयार हैं। हम एकमत है कि आतंकवाद पूरी मानवता के लिए बहुत बड़ी चुनौती है। आतंकवाद के खिलाफ हमारी लड़ाई में सहयोग और समर्थन के लिए हम प्रधानमंत्री रंबुका और फिजी सरकार का आभार व्यक्त करते हैं।
Prime Minister Modi also talked about Fijian Prime Minister's framing of the Pacific as an ocean of peace, symbolizing the region's long-standing regional unity, non-alignment and security.
पैसिफिक आइलैंड देशों से सहयोग में हम फिजी को एक हब के रूप में देखते हैं। हम दोनों फ्री, ओपन, इंक्लूसिव, सुरक्षित और समृद्ध इंडो पैसिफिक का समर्थन करते हैं। प्रधानमंत्री जी की ओशंस ऑफ पीस एक बहुत ही सकारात्मक सोच है। भारत के इंडो पैसिफिक ओशन इनिशिएटिव से जुड़ने के लिए हम फिजी का स्वागत करते हैं। इंडिया एंड फिजी मे बी ओशंस अपार्ट, बट our aspirations sail in the same boat.
Fijian Prime Minister on his part lauded the role of the Indian community in his country, saying they continue to contribute to Fiji's economy stability. The visiting dignitary also highlighted how several initiatives taken by Prime Minister Modi resulted in eradication of poverty, saying Fiji wishes to follow the suit.
We have the same objective for people. Surprised that many people were surprised when I announced that I would like to do what Prime Minister Modi has done in India, and that is eradicate poverty, particularly in the rural and our maritime areas. And first of all, it has to be eradicated from the minds of the people who have believed for so long that they are poor. They do not have to believe, and they can get out of it. First of all, they have to believe they are not poor. And the recent development, very little things perhaps from your scale of cowpeas being introduced to Fiji. It might be a very small thing for a great nation like India, but for us, it is great. A lot of common rural areas and peri-urban people will be able to participate in the economy, just planting these. I believe it's growing very well in Fiji. We are the same latitude, same climate, so whatever grows well here will grow well in Fiji, and we look forward to continuing the great cooperation we have.
India and Fiji have deepened their partnership with the signing of 9 memorandums of understanding following delegation-level talks. At a media briefing, MEA Secretary South Nina Malhotra said the agreements span key sectors including healthcare, capacity building, mobility, standardization, ICT and business cooperation.
The two leaders also witnessed the exchange of 9 bilateral documents or MOUs. These are construction, commissioning, operation and maintenance of a super specialty hospital in Fiji, an agreement on supply of medicines under our Jan Aushadhi scheme, an MOU on cooperation in standardization between Bureau of Indian Standards and Department of National Measurement and Standards, which is the counterpart body of BIS in Fiji. Another MOU was on the cooperation in the field of human capacity, skilling and upskilling between National Institute of Electronics and Information Technology of India and Pacific Polytechnic of Fiji, on Indian grant assistance for implementation of quick impact projects. A declaration of intent on migration and mobility was also exchanged, and the Fijian side handed over lease deed of Indian Chancery Building in Suva to our High Commissioner. I may mention the other 2 MOUs that were concluded on the sidelines. One was between Confederation of Indian Industry or CII and Fiji Commerce and Employment Federation, FCEF. The second one was between National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development, NABARD, and Fiji Development Bank.
India and Fiji have taken their partnership to a new high with a host of announcements alongside the signing of MOUs. These include a visit by Fiji's Parliamentary and Great Council of Chiefs delegations to India in 2026 and a port call by Indian naval ship to Fiji in 2025. India will also establish a defence attaché post at its High Commission in Suva and gift ambulances to the Royal Fiji Military Forces. And later, Prime Minister of Fiji, Sitiveni Rabuka, called on the President of India, Draupadi Murmu, at Rashtrapati Bhavan in New Delhi on Monday. President Murmu warmly welcomed Prime Minister Rabuka, who is on a 3-day official visit to India. The visit underscores the long-standing and close ties between India and Fiji, reaffirming both nations' commitment to strengthening bilateral cooperation across all sectors and deepening people-to-people connections. Earlier, Prime Minister Rabuka held delegation-level talks with Prime Minister Narendra Modi. The two leaders also witnessed the exchange of memorandums of understanding, further enhancing collaboration between the two countries. Prime Minister Narendra Modi is on a 2-day visit to Gujarat. He held a roadshow in Ahmedabad after landing there. During the visit, PM Modi will inaugurate and lay the foundation stone of development projects worth over 5,400 crore rupees at Kodaldham ground in Ahmedabad this evening. Prime Minister will also address a public function on the occasion. The projects to be launched today are related to urban development, energy, roads and railways. In Gujarat, Prime Minister Modi will inaugurate two significant initiatives at Suzuki Motors Hansalpur plant during his Gujarat visit. Take a look at our next report for the details.
In a landmark moment, PM Modi will flag off the e-Vitara, Suzuki's first ever global battery electric vehicle manufactured in India. This is a significant breakthrough as these made in India BEVs will be exported to over 100 countries, including advanced markets like Europe and Japan. The company aims to cater both domestic and international markets from Gujarat. This significant milestone is the result of a seeding that took place in the year 2011 when Prime Minister Modi, as the Chief Minister of Gujarat, invited Suzuki, and Suzuki established a car plant here in Hansalpur.
This is the first global manufacturing for Suzuki for BEVs, and it will be shipped to about more than 100 countries of the world, including advanced countries like in Europe or Japan. The economic cooperation extends to far beyond just industrial infrastructure. It's also about social infrastructure. The state of Gujarat has a natural advantage for exports because of its proximity to the ports, and it has some of the high quality ports with this infrastructure helping us for exports to many countries of the world.
The partnership between Gujarat and Suzuki continues to be a story of progress and prosperity. The Hansalpur region has emerged as a major hub for automotive growth, fueling not just industry but also social development. PM Modi will also inaugurate next phase of India's battery ecosystem by the start of local production by hybrid battery electrodes at the TDS lithium-ion battery plant in Gujarat. The plant is a joint venture between Toshiba, Denso and Suzuki, marking another leap toward India's Atmanirbhar Bharat vision. From electric cars to advanced battery solutions, these two milestones symbolize India's growing leadership in sustainable mobility and clean energy innovation. Meghna Dev's report for DD India.
And still to come on this edition of DD India Live. New Zealand's postal service suspends most deliveries to the United States. Why? Stay with us to know. India's Ministry of Youth Affairs and Sports invites nominations for the National Youth Award 2024.
Can the US launch a bombing campaign against Iran? The Philippines vessel suffered structural damage. The saga of child sexual abuse is the United States China's debt trap strategy. Truth is stranger than fiction. But sometimes hard to uncover. Trust us to tell the truth, unadulterated and pure, of every story that matters to you. You read between the lines, cut the clutter, and connect the dots to get you the full picture. Watch Connecting the Dots at these times with me, only on DD India.
You're watching DD India Live. I'm Siddharth Bharadwaj. Reserve Bank of India's Governor Sanjay Malhotra delivered the inaugural address at FIBAC Banking Conference on charting new frontiers in Mumbai. He called for pushing India's frontiers of growth amid global trade frictions, geopolitical tensions, and slowing advanced economies.
We are now at a critical juncture, as noted by some of my earlier speakers, as we navigate the choppy global economic environment characterized by heightened trade uncertainty and persisting geopolitical tensions. We need to push the frontiers of growth. We all must step up our efforts to address the emerging challenges and at the same time seize the opportunities that are coming our way.
South Korea's President Lee Jae-myung and US President Donald Trump will meet at the White House on Monday for their first summit talks. Lee wrapped up his two-day visit to Japan on Sunday with a meeting of lawmakers from the Japan-Korea Parliamentarians Union before departing for Washington, D.C. The Lee-Trump talks are expected to focus on follow-up details from last month's tariff deal, as well as sensitive issues, including defense cooperation and the future posture of US troops stationed in Korea. The two leaders are also expected to hammer out details of the broad trade agreement that lowered the US reciprocal tariffs on Korean goods to 15% from 25% in return for Seoul's $350 billion investment, pledges and other commitments. After the White House talks, Lee will attend a business roundtable with top corporate executives from both countries and deliver a speech at the Center for Strategic and International Studies. New Zealand's Postal Service said it had suspended most deliveries to the United States, citing uncertainty over the impact of President Donald Trump's looming tariffs. New Zealand Post, in a statement on its website, said that only limited letters and important documents such as passports or legal letters would be delivered to the United States. The department said it was working quickly to make changes to its service and that it hoped to resume deliveries as soon as possible. The move follows similar steps taken by postal services and mail carriers in India, Germany, France, Belgium, Austria and Denmark after Trump administration said that as of August 29, it would abolish a tax exemption on small packages entering the United States. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said Ukraine aims to secure at least $1 billion monthly from allies to buy US weapons for its war with Russia. He made the statement during a joint briefing in Kiev with Norwegian Prime Minister Jonas Gahr Støre, who also expressed Norway's strong support for Ukraine's air defense and maritime security.
Norway has joined the PURL program, which allows you to buy weapons in the United States. Our goal is to fill this program with at least $1 billion per month. I've already talked about this.
The Norwegian government has proposed maintaining its aid to Ukraine at $8.4 billion for 2026, the same as this year. If approved by Parliament, this would bring Norway's total civilian and military aid to Ukraine to $275 billion, $27.1 billion for 2023-2030.
Mr. President, I have announced that Norway's high level of support to Ukraine in 2025 will be continued into 2026. So that means, translated into currency, you understand, $8.5 billion in 2026, which I will propose to Parliament.
India and Japan convened a ministerial-level energy dialogue on Monday via video conferencing, reaffirming their shared commitment to energy security, clean energy transition and climate action under the Japan-India Clean Energy Partnership. The meeting was co-chaired by India's Minister of Power and Housing and Urban Affairs Manohar Lal Khattar and Japan's Minister of Economy, Trade and Industry Muto Yoji. Both nations also agreed to strengthen cooperation in frontier domains, including advanced battery technologies, critical mineral supply chains, and carbon capture, utilization, and storage. India's Ministry of Youth Affairs and Sports has invited nominations for the National Youth Award 2024. The award aims to motivate young persons to achieve excellence in the field of national development or social service and to give recognition to the outstanding work done by voluntary organizations. The award is given in two categories: one, individual category, and second, organization category. Nominations must be submitted online by 30th of September 2025 only through the awards portal awards.gov.in. The number of awards given each year would ordinarily not exceed 20 for individual category and 5 for organization category. It may, however, vary at the discretion of the sanctioning authority in deserving case. World champion D. Gukesh had a brilliant escape against France's Alireza Firouzja in round 6 of the Sinquefield Cup in the United States. The Indian defended calmly to secure a draw against him and saved half a point from losing position in St. Louis. Another Indian Grandmaster, Ramesh Babu Pragnananda, also pressed for a win against Jan Krzysztof Duda of Poland, but ended the game in draw. Fabiano Caruana continues to lead with 4 points. Gukesh, Pragnananda, Wesley So, Firouzja, Washia Lagrave and Sam Sevian are all placed closely behind Caruana. Sharvari Shinde wrapped up India's campaign at the World Archery Youth Championships with the gold medal in the under-18 women's recurve event in Canada. The 16-year-old archer became only the third Indian world champion in women's under-18 recurve category, following in the footsteps of Deepika Kumari and Komalika Bari. She defeated Kim Yewon of South Korea in the final, holding her nerve in a shoot-off to win after the match ended 5 points each. On the final day, Gatha Khadke and Agaste Singh won against another bronze. In fact, in the under-18 mixed recurve category, India's overall medal tally is 8, including 4 gold, 2 silver and bronze. The next World Archery Youth Championships will take place in Turkey in 2027. That's all for this edition of DD India Live, but let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. For those on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India and across the world on DD India mobile app. The app is available on both Android and iOS platforms, and you can scan the QR code on your screens to download now. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Siddharth Bharadwaj from all of us here in Delhi. Thanks for watching DD India Live.
Bombing campaign against Iran. The Philippines vessel suffered structural damage. The saga of child sexual abuse is the United States China's debt trap strategy. Truth is stranger than fiction. With me, only on DD India. With me, only on DD India.
Welcome to DD India.